Welcome to this special Don Giovanni podcast, brought to you by Vancouver Opera and TransLink's Travel Smart program. It's an introduction to the opera, a preview of the story, and just enough of the music to make you want to hear more. You can listen to this wherever you are, anytime. But if you're listening as you travel downtown on SkyTrain or Canada Line to see Don Giovanni at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, then you're riding aboard an opera train. Opera trains are part of a collaborative project with TransLink. Visit vancouveropera.ca to learn more. This podcast is in 5 parts of 2 or 3 minutes each. You can listen to it all at once, or you can pause between sections and enjoy your ride on the opera train, or the bus, or C-bus. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart composed Don Giovanni in 1787. It followed his masterpiece The Marriage of Figaro the year before. The story of Don Juan was well known to Mozart. The notorious lover had first appeared 150 years earlier in a play called The Trickster of Seville and the Stone Guest by a Spanish monk named Tirso de Molina. And the story had been rewritten several times. The best known were a play by Molière and a ballet with music by the German composer Christoph Gluck. Mozart described his opera as a drama giocosa, a comedy with tragic overtones. Here's the story in a nutshell. Don Giovanni is a dangerously attractive aristocrat and serial seducer who leaves death and destruction in his wake. He defies both society and God in his reckless pursuit of gratification. For years, he evades the vengeful retribution of his most outraged victims, only to self-destruct in a bizarre encounter with a curse-hurling stone statue. The opera covers the final few days of his life. It begins with Giovanni's murder of a nobleman and ends with the nobleman's deadly revenge. In between is comedy, with hints of menace, driven by all the things that make comedies funny. Disguise, mistaken identity, a protracted chase scene, and surefire comic opera characters, the betrayed ex-lover, the innocent peasant girl, the young romantic male who talks a big game about revenge but is slow to act, and especially the long-suffering servant, Leporello, who acts as Giovanni's wingman, apologist, decoy, and stand-in. In his most famous number, Leporello is tasked with distracting Donna Elvira, one of Giovanni's recent conquests. He abandoned her at the altar, and she is furious. Leporello tells her to calm down. After all, she's just one of hundreds of women, thousands, who have been loved and left behind by his master. In Italy, 640. In Germany, 231. 100 in France. In Turkey, 91. And here in Spain, 1,003.
Il catalogo è questo, delle belle che amo il padron mio, un catalogo quelli è che ho fatt'io. Osservate, leggete con me, osservate, leggete con me. In Italia 640, in Albania 231, 100 in Francia, in Turchia 91, ma in Spagna son già 1.300. 1.300. Con fra queste contadine, cameriere cittadine, ma contesse e baronesse, marchesine, principesse e bambonne d'ogni grado, d'ogni forma, d'ogni età.
Leporello's catalogue of conquests does little to calm Donna Elvira down. If anything, she's more determined than ever to seek revenge for being jilted. Eventually, she teams up with Donna Anna, another of Giovanni's victims. It was she whom Giovanni, in disguise, tried to seduce as the story began. When she screamed, her father, the commendatore, came to her rescue. He demanded a duel, but he was no match for Giovanni. He died instantly with a thrust of Giovanni's sword. Now Donna Anna is looking for the man who did this, and he is looking for his next conquest. He thinks he has found her at a country wedding. Zerlina, is a lovely peasant girl who is marrying her beloved Masetto. Giovanni crashes the party and quickly sets his sights on the bride. When Masetto stands up to him, Giovanni coldly sends him away, exerting his aristocratic authority. Then he applies his irresistible charm to the task of seducing Zerlina. "That little villa there is mine," he sings, "and there, my jewel, we will be married. There you will give me your hand. There you will tell me yes." Don Giovanni comes very close to having his way with Zerlina. He invites her and all the wedding guests to his palace for dancing and drinking. His servant Leporello distracts Zerlina's angry fiancé, while Giovanni dances Zerlina out of the ballroom and into his bedroom. Her screams bring Giovanni's enemies to the rescue: Donna Elvira, Donna Anna, and Anna's boyfriend, Don Ottavio. Giovanni narrowly evades Ottavio's sword. He escapes for, he hopes, greener and less dangerous pastures. One of the remarkable features of any Mozart opera is the extraordinary beauty of the music. In the midst of comic capers and looming tragedy, Mozart's characters express their deepest desires and fears with heart-stopping melody and harmony. This happens here at the start of the ballroom scene. Elvira, Anna, and Ottavio arrive at the party in pursuit of Giovanni. Like the guests and Giovanni, they wear party masks to hide their identities. Leporello invites them into the palace, knowing that his master will welcome the two mysterious women as fresh prospects. Before they enter the palace, though, they ask heaven to protect them and to help them avenge Giovanni for betrayal and murder. The Don Juan character has fascinated us for nearly 400 years. Part of the reason is that his actions are ambiguous. We don't really know what motivates him, and so we really don't know how we should feel about him. He claims to love women, but he treats them with superficial and fleeting devotion followed by cruel disdain. He's a free thinker and a subversive. He's defiantly isolated from society, but he also uses society as a conduit to his targets. Is he an incorrigible pleasure seeker? Is he driven by a need to conquer, or merely by a need to satisfy his base desires? Is he evil, or merely flawed and weak? In the end, because we cannot find a satisfactory answer to that question, we give in. He charms us, We are powerless to resist. We want to come back to him again and again. The same cannot be said for the women he betrays. As the opera unfolds, Giovanni becomes increasingly brazen. He assaults Masetto and tries to seduce his own servant's wife. Donna Elvira, who despite herself is still attracted to him, finally unleashes her rage. And Donna Anna refuses to marry Ottavio until her father's murder is avenged. She is just too desperately unhappy. Giovanni finally succumbs, but not to Ottavio's sword or Elvira's fury. Instead, he is undone by a stone statue of the Commendatore, Donna Anna's father, the man he killed at the beginning of the opera. In a surreal scene in a cemetery, the statue comes to life. It warns Giovanni that his cruel laughter will soon be silenced. Giovanni is unfazed. Rashly, he invites the statue to dinner. As he waits for his guest, Elvira rushes in. She still harbors a vain hope that Giovanni will change. Giovanni dismisses her and welcomes the Commendatore, who commands him to repent. When he refuses, the statue clasps Giovanni's hand in an icy grip. The earth shakes and flames rise up as the unrepentant rake is dragged down to hell.
Avrei giammai creduto, ma farò quel che potrò. Leporello un'altra cena, sta che subito si perdi. Padron, siam tutti morti. Annetica! Non si pace